Hello everyone. In this lecture, I want to talk about the smart home system. I want to use an example of how to build a smart thermostat system by using IBM Bluemix to show you the concept of smart home. In the previous lecture, I introduced the concept of the Internet of Things, or IoT, to you. By using IoT, I said a user can upload documents to the cloud. The next day, if the user goes to the office, she can continue processing the documents on another devices. Obviously, file sharing is just a basic usage of an IoT system. We can do a lot more by using the IoT concept. Smart home or smart thermostat are the new usages of the IoT network. Before today's lecture, I want everyone to get a mobile device, an iPhone, an Android phone, template PC, or an iPad, and then open a web browser on any mobile device, and then type in a web address. I listed this web address in this video's description section below. Then you will see an interface that looks like this one. This is a simulator to the smart thermostat. We don't have a smart thermostat in this class, so we have to use simulator. This interface tries to simulate all the functions that a smart thermostat has. In the future, if you get a real smart thermostat, the interface will look very similar to the one you are seeing on this screen. By using a smart thermostat, you can control the AC system in your house. You can change temperature, humidity, and other information, as you can do on a regular thermostat. The major difference between a smart thermostat and a regular thermostat is that every time when you change temperature, humidity on a smart thermostat, the current temperature change will be, all of this information will be shared with devices that connect to a smart thermostat. Why do we want to do this? The information like temperature change are very important to energy company. By using a smart thermostat, electricity companies can monitor the user's preferred temperature, current temperature, temperature change, and electricity usage on the cloud. So the companies will have a better understanding about their customers. That's why you can see smart home system or smart thermostat systems are getting very popular among IT companies, energy companies, and users. We want to build a system like this one. We want to connect the user's smart thermostat to a cloud system, so we are able to monitor the user's temperature change, current temperature, all of this information from the cloud. We will be using the IBM Bluemix system to build such a connection. Now I want to give everyone some time to set up this emulator on your mobile device. Please open a web browser on any of your mobile devices, and then type in the web address listed in this video's description section below. Let me give everyone about 1 minute to set up this emulator. Once you open a web address on the mobile device, you should be able to see an ID number in the upper right corner, as you can see on this screen. Your ID should be different from mine. By using the unique ID number, the cloud can identify from which smart thermostat the temperature change was sent. In the future, if you work for an electricity company, obviously this ID number should be replaced by the user's home address. By using this, we can identify, differentiate from which house, which apartment the temperature information was sent. In the lab instruction, I asked everyone to type in an ID number in one step in the Bluemix system. That ID number should be as same as the one you are seeing on your mobile device right now. Some classmates may have a question. What if I accidentally close the web page on my mobile phone? How can I get a new ID number for my thermostat? Simply open a new web page on your mobile device and then type in the web address listed in this video's description section, and then you will get a new ID number in the upper right corner. Next, you want to update the ID in the IBM Bluemix system. By doing this, we can make the connection between the smart thermostat and the Bluemix system. Also, the IoT sensor webpage is hosted by IBM. Sometimes IBM could update the system. If you see something like a connection failed, that means IBM is updating the IoT website. Just wait about 1 hour or 2 hours and then reopen the web page. You will get an ID number in the upper right corner. Now let's build the smart thermostat system in the IBM Bluemix system. Please log in IBM Bluemix and then click Catalog in the upper right corner. Catalog. We should be very familiar to this button now. Next, please find the App category on the left panel. Under Apps, you should see something called Boilerplates. Click on Boilerplates. After you click Boilerplates, you should get Internet of Things Platform Starter. This one is as same as we used in the chatting app development. So let's click on Internet of Things Platform Starter. First, you want to give a unique and creative name for this smart thermostat system. I want to name mine as Ball Smart Home. You can create your own name as long as there is no special symbol, no space in the app name. And then click the Create button. Next, you will see the circle is rotating. That means your mobile app is being prepared on the cloud. We want to click on IBM Bluemix, this link in the upper left corner. We want to return to the home page of our developing environment. Under All Apps, check the state of your application. If you see something like not running, click the half circle button. This is called the Restart button. Click on this button to restart your system. If you see the state of your application is running, you can click on this button, Open URL button. Then you will go to the developing environment. Since my state is not running, I want to click on the Restart button to restart the system. Click Restart to confirm. Now my app is ready, it's running, so I can click the Open URL button To move to the next step, click Open URL. This is the Node-RED interface. This is as same as what we saw when we developed the chatting app. Click Go to Node-RED Flow Editor. This one is a little complicated. Actually, all the boxes represent some functions. First, we want to go to IBM IoT App-In. This one, IBM IoT App-In. Double-click on this box. Here we need to make the connection between our current developing environment and the smart thermostat we created on our mobile device. We need to type in the smart thermostat ID number into the device ID box. You need to open the web browser and then find out what is the ID number on your current smart thermostat system on your mobile device. Here, because I created the interface in a web browser, so I can copy the ID number here and then paste it into the device ID box. In your case, you have to look up the mobile device. Look at the interface of the smart thermostat on your mobile device and type in exactly the ID you can see on the mobile device. If the letters are in lowercase, you must type them in lowercases as well. And then click Done. Now we have made the connection between the environment here and the smart thermostat on our mobile device. Next, click Deploy in the upper right corner to confirm the change. Now you can see something magical happening in the environment. Click the Debug button in the upper right corner, and then you can see your environment is accepting some information input. If you scroll down the list, you can see this environment, this cloud system is accepting some temperature data. Where are these temperature data come from? They are from your mobile device. Every time when you change the temperature in the smart thermostat on your mobile device, you can see the temperature change and the current temperature immediately in the debug panel. This is very cool, right? As you can see, make the connection between the cloud management system and the user's device is very simple in the IBM Bluemix system. Now imagine if you have a smart car in the future. As long as you get the car ID, type it into the Bluemix system, then you can monitor the mileage, the location, and the gas usage of this car. Right? This is very cool. Now we have already made the connection between the Bluemix system and the smart thermostat system. One thing I want to mention is in the debug button, because it accepts the user's temperature change every second. Sometimes the information update is so quick, you probably will see the top of the list. Some classmates will misunderstand that they didn't make the connection. Actually, they have made the connection. The information update is at the bottom of this panel because the update is so quick, so they couldn't see the latest information. Just scroll down the bar. Scroll down the bar, you will see the latest information. Let's say my current temperature. What I can see is I set it up at 15 degree, right? Let's go back. Yes, the current temperature is 15 degree. If I change to, let's say 20, and then I go back to Bluemix system, and then scroll down to the bar, you can see my current temperature is 20. If you want it to be cooler, you can change the temperature on your mobile device, and then you can immediately see the current temperature in your Bluemix system. Very cool. We have already get the data, but the current weakness is we receive the data, we will immediately lose the data because we haven't saved the data into any database. It will be better if we build a database in the cloud to save the user's data, right? This is how we build the database in the Bluemix system. First, look at the left panel, and then scroll down the left panel to the function category. And then you will have the function box, right? Click on the function box and then hold it, drag it to the center area in the development interface, and then drop it off. Now you get a function box. We need to make the connection between IBM IoT app inbox to this new function box. The way is you can see a point in the mid bar, right, of the IBM IoT app inbox. You see this point. Click on this point and then hold it, drag it to the point, the midpoint of the function box. Then you make the connection. And of course, you can move the function box to other places to make the interface easier to interpret for you. Next, we want to double click on the function box. And then give it a name. Let's call this function. Next, in the lower box, we need to paste some function. In this class, in this lecture, I don't want you to focus on the programming part because we will have a programming lecture several weeks later in this semester. Now I just want you to go to eCollege and then go to week 3. Open lab instruction. Click on week 3 and then open lab instruction. In the lab instruction on page 6 and 7, between 6 and 7, copy the codes here. Start with VAR and then end after the semicolon after MSG. Copy this code, this collection of code. Make a copy and then go back to the function box. Remove everything in the function box now. Remove everything. We want to have an empty function box. Next, we want to paste all the codes we just copied. Actually, even though you don't have any programming knowledge, the programming codes are very self-explanatory. What we wanted to do is to create some variable to hold the time data. And then we want to create another variable to hold the user's temperature data, humidity data, object temperature data, and so on. And then click Done. Next, click Deploy in the upper right corner. The next step is we want to create a database in the cloud. In the left panel, continue scrolling down. We want to find the storage category. As you can see on the right panel, we still receive users' input, right? But at this moment, they are coming and gone. We want to save it into a database. We want to find the cloudant, this one, the last cloudant. Under storage, you have two types of cloudant. One with a cloud icon on the left side. Another one with a cloud icon on the right side, right? We want to choose cloudant with the cloud icon on the right side, which is the last cloudant button. We want to select this, hold it, and then drag it to the center part, and then drop it off. Next, we want to make the connection. We want to drag the point of a function to the point of a cloudant. A cloudant is a cloud-based database. Obviously, when we create a database, we want to give a name to this database and also build the structure of the database. Let's double-click Cloudant, this button. First, under Service, you have two options under Service. One is external Cloudant service. Another one is a Cloudant service with your mobile app name, right? Choose the one with your mobile app name. Mine is Boss Smart Home. Yours could be your particular app name. Choose the one with your particular app name, not the one with external service. And then in the database box, give it a name. Let's call this IoT underscore TEMP. You can follow the same name I'm using. You can follow the same name, IoT underscore TEMP. Remember, the database name should be in lowercase. You cannot use uppercase. And then check the box before only store MSG payload object. That means we're only interested in the user's input. Next, we want to click Done. We have already built a cloud-based database. Actually, the user's input are currently inputting into the cloud database. Click Deploy to confirm. Some classmates are interested where the cloud database is. How can we access to the database? We have to go back to the Bluemix dashboard. Let's go back to Bluemix, and then under Bluemix, under All Services, you can see two functions, right? We want to choose the one with Cloudant NoSQL DB, this one. Click on this one. If you cannot see this page, click IBM Bluemix, this button, you will see your home page. Under Services, click Cloudant NoSQL DB. By the way, if you have several applications, you could have several services as well, right? Choose Cloudant NoSQL DB with the app name for your smart home system. Because for the chatting app, you could have another database. We don't need that one. We only need the Cloudant database for the smart home system. Click on this one. Next, we want to click the Launch button. We want to see what's inside of the database. Click on it. This one shows you some overview of your database. For instance, what kind of access you are given. Sometimes you can only read the data from the database, but not writing data into it, right? In our case, we are able to write and read information into the cloud database. And also it shows the space available to you for the data storage purpose, the writing and reading speed between the database and your application, and so on. You want to click on Database, this link on the left panel. Now you can see we have IoT underscore temp. This is what we created, right? Next, IoT, the name, you can see number of docs. This is actually the number of data records currently in the database. I have 93. That means that the database have already collected 93 temperature data from the user's smart thermostat. Let's click on IoT. You can further look at the temperature data on the right panel, as you can see here. These are meaningless information to human being because we want to save the information into database. These codes are for the computer systems, not for human beings. Let's go back. Now you can see I have already collected 120 data records from the user's smart thermostat. We made the connection, we had the data set. It will be better if we can analyze the user's data records, right? Actually, IBM Bluemix system is very powerful. It also provides the analytics function. This is what we care about. Let's click on Analytics. And then you can see Warehouse, right? Create a warehouse. Click on this button. Next, you want to log in with your IBM Bluemix ID and password again, so that you can create a warehouse, data warehouse. After you log in with your IBM ID and password, make sure the -db is selected, and then move on to warehouse. Here, let's give it a name. Let's call this sensor warehouse. And then here, click on data source, and then type in IO, and then you will see IoT temperature, right? After you see this link, click on it, and then you are able to see the database here. Make sure you type in IO and then select the offer from the IBM Bluemix warehouse. Next, make sure create a new DB instance is selected, and then click on create a warehouse. You should be able to get a data warehouse in the cloud. Now we get the data warehouse. Click open in DB-DB to take a look at the warehouse. This is the user interface of IBM data warehouse in the cloud. You can click on the X button to quit the quick tour. In the future, you can run all kinds of analysis languages like SQL, R, or Python, or other languages in the cloud-based data warehouse. In the lab instruction, I showed you how to run the analysis by using a language called R. R is not required for this class. It's not required for mobile business class. You will learn R in the advanced analytics class. Here I just want to show you the example. You can copy the codes from the lab instruction as well. First, let's click on Analytics, and then click on R Scripts. In this window, you can see a plus sign next to RStudio, right? Click on the plus sign. Here we want to choose IoT temp because this is the temperature database we created in the cloud. We want to make sure all the columns are selected, and then click Apply. Next, you can see in the RScript area, the IBM Bluemix system already give you some predefined code. Here I want you to make some modifications on the code by using the lab instruction. Please follow the last page in the lab instruction to try out the R script. After you modify the codes here, click Submit. You will be able to create a PDF report of your data analysis. Please try it out after this class. It's pretty interesting. This will conclude the entire data collection and data analysis process in a smart thermostat system or a smart home IoT system. As you can see, IoT will not only connect people, but also connect the user's device with the cloud system. By using the connection, we are able to monitor the user's device change from the cloud. And also, we are able to analyze the data sets from the user's device in the cloud. This is a very nice feature of an IoT network.